Is your cat keeping you up at 2 a.m., biting at the base of their tail, shaking their head, or pulling out little clumps of their own fur until the skin underneath looks red and raw? It's heartbreaking to watch, and if you've already gone searching online for a natural, safe way to help them, you know the internet is full of conflicting, sometimes genuinely dangerous advice. So today, cat parents, this one's for you. And before we go any further, I need to give you a serious warning right up front. Whatever you do, do not simply copy what works for dogs onto your cat. Their bodies handle certain things very, very differently. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Peterson, your neighborhood veterinarian. Today, we're doing a full deep dive into feline itching, fleas, and how to handle it all naturally and safely without the toxic missteps that send far too many cats into emergency rooms every season. Grab a notebook, let your cat curl up nearby, and let's get into it. Chapter 1: The Hidden Infestation and the Wet Paper Towel Test. Before we can treat anything, we need to know exactly what we're dealing with. One of the biggest mistakes I see is a pet parent assuming their indoor cat simply can't have fleas. We live on the 5th floor. There's no way, they tell me. Here's the thing, fleas are remarkable hitchhikers. A single flea can catch a ride on a pant leg, a delivery box, or another pet, and find its way onto an entirely indoor cat without much trouble at all. And because cats groom themselves so meticulously, they often swallow the adult fleas as they clean, which means you may never actually see a live bug, even when there's a real infestation happening. So here's a simple trick to check for yourself. Grab a plain white paper towel, dampen it slightly with warm water, and lay it flat on a table. Gently place your cat nearby, and using your fingers or a fine brush, ruffle the fur backward at the base of the spine, right where the tail begins. Since that area tends to be flea central, you might notice tiny, dark specks falling out, easy to mistake for dandruff or dirt. Take a small pinch of those specks, press them onto the damp paper towel, and wait about 10 seconds. If those dark flecks begin to dissolve into a reddish-brown halo, that's your answer. That coloring comes from digested blood, meaning what you're looking at is flea dirt, and it's confirmation of an active infestation. If it stays black or gray with no red bleeding through, it's likely just regular debris. Chapter 2: Why one bite can cause weeks of misery and the essential oil myth. Once fleas are confirmed, a lot of pet parents are confused by the severity of the reaction, especially if they only found a small amount of flea dirt. How does one tiny bite lead to a cat chewing themselves bald? This comes down to a condition called flea allergy dermatitis, one of the most common allergic skin conditions in cats. When a flea bites to feed, it injects a small amount of its saliva to keep the blood from clotting, and many cats develop a genuinely intense allergic reaction to proteins in that saliva. Imagine being so sensitive to a single mosquito bite that your entire body broke out in burning, itchy welts for weeks afterward. That's essentially what's happening internally. Your cat isn't overreacting, their immune system genuinely is. Now here's where I need you to listen closely, because this next part can be the difference between helping your cat and seriously harming them. When people want a natural alternative to chemical treatments, they often turn to essential oils, tea tree, lavender, peppermint, eucalyptus. Assuming natural automatically means safe. For cats specifically, this can be genuinely dangerous. Cats, unlike humans and dogs, largely lack a specific liver enzyme responsible for breaking down many plant compounds. As obligate carnivores, their evolutionary path simply never required that enzyme, so their bodies never developed strong defenses against it. When concentrated essential oils are applied to their skin, that compound is absorbed into the bloodstream and, without the enzyme to process it, can build up to toxic levels. Even small amounts have been linked to excessive drooling, wobbliness, tremors, and, in serious cases, life-threatening organ stress. Please keep essential oils completely away from cats. Natural does not automatically mean safe. And while we're on this topic, one more critical warning. Certain synthetic insecticides found in some over-the-counter dog flea treatments are extremely dangerous for cats, capable of causing severe neurological reactions if ever applied to or absorbed by a cat, even through close contact with a recently treated dog. Never split or repurpose dog flea medication for a cat, and always check ingredient labels carefully in a multi-pet household. Chapter 3. The one-drop method and the safe bath technique. Now let's actually fight back. Safely. The gentlest tool in your arsenal is a fine-toothed metal flea comb, completely chemical-free and safe even for pregnant cats, nursing mothers, or tiny kittens. But a comb alone has a flaw. A live flea caught mid-comb can simply jump right back off and return to your cat. So we trap and eliminate them at the same time. Here's the one-drop method. Fill a small cup with warm water and add just one single drop of plain, unscented, fragrance-free dish soap. Nothing antibacterial or heavily perfumed. Here's the science behind why this works so well. Fleas have a waxy, water-resistant exoskeleton, meaning they can normally float on plain water and simply climb their way back out. That one drop of soap breaks the water's surface tension and strips away that protective waxy coating almost instantly, causing the flea to sink and drown within seconds. No chemicals absorbed by your cat at all. Sit somewhere brightly lit, comb gently along the neck, spine, and base of the tail, and dip the comb into the soapy cup after each pass. Repeat daily until the cup stays clear. For a heavier infestation, a full soap bath may be necessary. Here's the key trick most people miss: the neck ring technique. As soon as water touches a cat's back, fleas instinctively rush upward toward the head to escape, often hiding in the ears, nose, or around the eyes. Before wetting your cat at all, massage a ring of soapy water completely around the neck, behind the ears, and under the chin. This barrier stops fleas from reaching the face. Then gently wet the body, work in a small amount of the same gentle soap, let it sit for a few minutes to fully affect any adult fleas, and rinse thoroughly with warm water. One important note: a soap bath removes fleas currently on your cat, but it offers no lasting protection, so a freshly bathed cat can be reinfested quickly if the environment around them isn't addressed too, which we'll get to shortly. Chapter 4. Healing the skin naturally. Once your cat is physically clean, their skin is often still irritated with red bites, small scabs, and inflamed patches from weeks of allergic reaction. This is where we turn to one of the safest natural options available: pure, organic, cold-pressed coconut oil. Rich in lauric acid, it's naturally hydrating and mildly antimicrobial, which helps soothe those tiny broken areas of skin where bacteria can otherwise take hold and worsen the irritation. Take a small dab, let it melt slightly between your fingers, and gently massage it into the most irritated patches, typically around the neck and base of the tail. If your cat licks the spot afterward, that's perfectly fine in small amounts. Coconut oil is safe to ingest and can even support coat health. Just use a light touch. A fully greasy coat will only stress your cat out further. For an added layer of natural deterrence, a heavily diluted apple cider vinegar mist can help make your cat less appealing to fleas going forward. Though it's worth noting clearly, this repels rather than kills an active infestation. Mix equal parts pure apple cider vinegar and water in a spray bottle, then apply it to your hands or a soft cloth rather than spraying directly near your cat's face, and gently stroke it over their back, sides, and belly. The scent fades quickly to us, but tends to make a cat noticeably less attractive to fleas hunting by smell. Chapter 5. Breaking the environmental flea cycle. Here's the part that determines whether all of this actually works long-term. The fleas you can see on your cat typically represent only a small fraction of the total flea population in your home. The vast majority exist as eggs, larvae, and cocoons hidden deep in carpets, furniture seams, and bedding. A single female flea can lay dozens of eggs a day, which fall off your cat as they move through the house and quickly hatch into larvae that burrow deeper to avoid light, eventually forming durable cocoons that can survive for extended periods, waiting for the right vibration or warmth to trigger hatching again. One important safety note: some natural advice online recommends spreading fine powders like diatomaceous earth throughout the home. Please avoid this in a cat household. Cats have small, sensitive respiratory systems and spend much of their time close to the floor, and inhaling that fine dust can cause serious respiratory irritation over time. Instead, rely on consistent mechanical cleaning. Vacuum thoroughly every single day for at least 2 to 3 weeks straight, focusing especially on baseboards under furniture and couch seams, where larvae tend to hide from light. The vibration and suction physically remove eggs and larvae and can even trigger premature hatching of cocoons directly into the vacuum. Empty the canister or dispose of the bag outside immediately after each use. Alongside that, wash all bedding, blankets, and soft toys your cat uses in the hottest water setting available, since high heat is one of the most effective, completely natural ways to destroy flea eggs and larvae at every stage. Combine the daily soapy comb routine on your cat with consistent vacuuming and hot laundry cycles, and most infestations can be fully resolved within about a month, with nothing toxic ever touching your cat's skin or lungs. I know this was a lot to take in: flea allergy, dermatitis, safe bathing, environmental cleanup. But by taking the time to understand your cat's unique biology, especially how differently they process certain compounds compared to dogs, you're protecting them from mistakes that are unfortunately still incredibly common. Start with the wet paper towel test tonight. Prepare your soapy comb setup. Soothe any irritated skin with a light touch of coconut oil, and pull out that vacuum. Your cat is lucky to have someone willing to learn all of this for them. Tell me about your cat in the comments. What's their name? And which of these natural methods are you trying first? I read every single comment. If this video genuinely helped you today, please hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss the next masterclass, and share this with another cat parent who needs to hear the truth about essential oils and cross-species flea medication. Give your sweet cat a gentle scratch behind the ears for me, and I'll see you in the very next video.